Hello there. This episode is just a quick one, more of a ramble. And it's to address something in Star Trek, generally in science fiction shows, actually, that confuses me. Who runs the ship at night? Now, right, before you get to the keyboard and start telling me, oh, there's those episodes where Harry Kim ran the ship at night and, ran the night shift and stuff. Let's break it apart for a second now. Today, different nations and organizations, both military and civilian, have different ways of running a ship at night. You've got different people, like a quartermaster, or a staff captain, or basically a night captain, or an executive officer of some kind, who runs the ship while the captain is asleep. Now, of course, if there's an emergency, you wake the captain up. But those people run the ship when they basically, let's use the Next Generation Star Trek as an example. Picard, Riker, Geordi, Troy, although she might crash the ship, Data, Worf, Tasha Yar for that matter, Dr. Crusher. All these people are awake at the same time. Let's forget the whole Star Trek thing of where there's a really dangerous situation. Let's take the chief engineer, the first officer, the chief medical officer, and the highly valuable one-of-a-kind android down to the surface. Or if you're in the original series, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, random red guy in a red shirt who will throw at the danger. At least they thought ahead. But who ran the ship at night? Because all these people are awake at the same time. So the captain, the first officer, they don't even seem to have a bit of a different shift. Now, we see with officers like Jellicoe, he institutes a 4-shift rotation, which is more efficient for the crew of the Enterprise. Now, that's the crew, generally. Now, on Earth, in naval terms, it makes sense to have night staff and day staff because people sleep, but also there is literally a night. Take your train of thought out of the 2-dimensional and into the 3. Space doesn't have night. It's only night aboard a starship, like we see with Harry Kim. He's running the night shift on the bridge. They've dimmed the bloody lights. It's not actually night time. Also, Harry Kim is day shift. So who ran the nights normally? Who actually runs the ship? And why are these people not featured more? Whoever's running the starship, when Picard or Janeway or Archer or whoever is in bed, has to be at least as valued an officer as T'Pol, Riker. Do you see where I'm going? Why are these people not more important? Why do we not hear about them more? Why do we not see more of them? Even on shows that have taken realism a little more seriously, like Discovery, they still have all the senior staff of the ship awake at the same time. They're always available to deal with every problem. And although we do know they go to bed, we know they sleep, we see it every now and again, we never see who's running the damn ship. I'm sorry, it just doesn't make any sense. It's bugged me for years. I mean, literally years. And has occasionally wandered into my thoughts. And recently I actually did a short about Harry Kim commanding the Nightingale. And it made me think, who normally commands nights? It took me to the train of thought about Harry Kim and promotion. Which, a side note, right? This one I just loved. It's like the writers of Voyager really didn't want Kim to get a promotion. Do you remember in 30 Days that Tom Paris got demoted for basically breaking the Prime Directive to ensign, right? He was already a criminal, bounced out of Starfleet, joined the Marquis, so that made him a terrorist. All of that is forgiven, right? He gets demoted, and then he gets re-promoted for what? Good fucking behaviour? But yet Harry Kim, who apparently is trusted to run the night, which means he should be like an executive officer material, it's like there's a spare lieutenant position and they don't give it to Harry anyway. It does typify that apparently running nights doesn't matter. What do they assume? That the Klingons, their sleep schedule is the same as yours? So is that of the Jem'Hadar, who by the way don't sleep, or that of the Borg, who I suppose technically sleep, but they still work, they still function even when they're asleep, so whatever. It's like, is everyone on the same 24-hour rotation as Earth and Starfleet? It doesn't make sense. Who runs the ships at night? That's all I'm saying. It just, there's no ever been a mention of a second captain aboard. But you would assume that there's someone of at least the rank of lieutenant commander, say the rank of, say, Tuvok or Geordie, generally aboard the ship, who would run the ship at night. I understand why officers specifically like McCoy and Crusher wouldn't be there at night, because their chief medical officer, they're going to be alert when supposedly the senior staff and main crew are alert. So that makes sense. The captain, that basically rotates around when the captain would be awake, or in a time schedule, so they keep in sync with the rest of the fleet and Earth. So 8 a.m. aboard the Enterprise is the same as 8 a.m. aboard the USS Endeavour, floating around 3,000 light years away in Beta Quadrant. So you've got uniformity, I understand that. And I understand why you would at least have an executive officer like Riker, say, start his shift at, say, 11 or 12, maybe, to stagger it a little bit. And he carries on when Picard comes off shift and goes to bed. Anyway, this is just my ramble. It's just something that confuses me. It doesn't seem to make any logical sense. And it's bugged me for years. It's a minor gripe, and ultimately, storyline-wise, it doesn't matter. It's more of an out-of-universe sort of realism thing for me. They would have, basically, a mirror of the senior staff working again at night, wouldn't they? Not just their favourite Reginald Barclay engineer in engineering. No, they'd have someone competent and forceful and intelligent and capable of making decisions in the event of an emergency, even if that decision is, Jesus fucking Christ, wake up Janeway, the Borg are back. It'd be that level, right? I mean, I get Harry Kim covered the odd one, but they mention crew members every now and again to do it. I know that, but that bugs me. Let me know, comments below, like, share, and subscribe on your thoughts on this, and we're at the end. There we go. I'd just like to say a thank you to everyone for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoy making these. If you did enjoy it, please consider giving a like, share, and a subscribe, and maybe checking out the other videos on the screen right now, and in the description box below there are links to my other social media accounts.